Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with the Callers. I'm Father Doug Jeffers and I'm here with
Father James.
And we have a guest with us this morning, Stephanie Smith. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning.
How are you this
Hey,
morning?
Stephanie, good morning.
Father.
Welcome to Coffee with the Callers.
Thank you.
Stephanie is one of our catechists. She teaches, which grade is it?
6th last year, 7th this coming year.
She teaches 6th and now 7th grade catechism. And we're talking about religious education this morning. So Stephanie, to start out with, we thought maybe you'd tell us a little bit about how you became interested in becoming a catechist in the first place and how that process has impacted your life.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. So I've only done it for 1 year so far, but I definitely plan to continue it.
Mm-hmm.
I originally wanted to start it just because I wanted to do more for this church community at St. Louis because I love this parish.
Yeah.
And my experience working with these kids, like not only did they add great joy to my life,
Mm-hmm.
but they also, just teaching them, I was actually learning more about the faith myself. And actually the experience was so good that I'm now in the process of becoming a teacher for my career, and I would love to teach at a Catholic school.
Wow, we got to get Cindy G on this. We're going to tell Cindy G about you, our school principal.
That's terrific. That's terrific.
So when you say that you're a catechist, sometimes that's a big word, and people are like, what is that, catechist? What does that mean? What is RE? So basically, RE is the way that we educate children in the faith who don't go to a Catholic school. So these would be all of our kids in the parish who go to the local public schools. They got to come somewhere to receive their religious formation, and we call that RE, religious education. So last year you taught the 6th graders, and now this year you're going to be moving to the 7th graders. So walk us through, what is it like when you're going in to teach a class? I mean, are all the materials ready for you? Do you partner with anybody? And what is what does the class look like when you're there? How does it operate?
Yeah, so all the materials are provided for you, and it's really simple. It's nothing to be intimidated about. You don't have to be like super know everything about the Catholic Church or anything. And like I was saying, like I learned with the students, so it's actually rewarding when you come across stuff that you didn't know before. So you should never wait until you feel like you know everything, because that day is never going to come. So just if you're feeling called to teach, then just go for it, and God will help you with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Father Doug, there's a long tradition in our church about how study and faith come together in one. You know, how academia and spirituality are not necessarily in competition with each other. So what are your thoughts on that? You and I talk about this all the time, about the importance of bringing these two together.
Yeah, well, I think at a kind of fundamental level, you can see that you can't love what you don't know. You have to know something somehow before you can love it. And then after that, knowledge and love, they tend to interact with each other. The more you love someone, the more you want to know about them. The more you know someone, the more that draws out your love. And that dynamism goes on in our relationship with God. And you know, one of my favorites is Saint Dominic, of course, and the Dominican order that he founded. And one of the things that I think St. Dominic really stands for in the history of the church is this ideal of a person who's connected with God, who contemplates God, not just in academic study, but in prayer and in meditation and in raising the mind to God. And that living, vital connection is not just for that person. It overflows, and they want to share it with others. Like Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, you don't light your light and then hide it under something. You put that light up on a pedestal so that it can light and others can see the light. And I think that has a lot to do with what a catechist does. They have a relationship with God, but then that relationship overflows and they want to share that with others.
Yeah, that's awesome. Stephanie, I've seen you at Mass all the time. Stephanie's a faithful member of St. Louis. You usually go to the 9:30 Mass, is that right? Yeah. You like the choir there, right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, they're awesome, aren't they? So it's just great for us as priests to get to know the parishioners, to see you out there at Mass, because we do notice who's there at Mass, and we kind of, as we're preaching, it's great to see people really focused on our homilies, because it helps us to be better preachers when we know that people are listening. So I always see you there, and it's really awesome, as Father Doug says, that you have this experience and this encounter with Christ through the Eucharist and the Word, but you want that overflows. You want to share that with people. So you were mentioning to us earlier that, you know, last year you had a kind of a small class. There was just like 5 or 6 students in the class.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like to be able to journey with them and guide them through their own formation as 6th graders?
It was really rewarding. I loved like how intimate our group was because there was time to talk to each student individually, but as a group, as a whole. And I think it's so important to journey through the faith and learning about the faith with people your own age. So for them, just, even as a parent, to make sure your child is coming to religious education classes if they're not in a Catholic school, I think that's really important because having friends that are following the faith with you, alongside you, is very impactful. So, and just, I don't know, having a small class for my first year, I think it was perfect. So I know that God kind of worked that out for me.
Yeah, those kids must have been relieved to have someone like you there, because I was listening to Father Jesse, our other parochial vicar. He was giving a talk to our teachers at St. Louis School and our ECDC teachers, and he was talking about this idea of presence, that, just coming back to school every day to journey with these kids, irrespective of whether or not they get all of the lessons or not. They get most of them, but really the most important thing is actually that those kids can rely on you. They know that you're going to journey with them. This is a powerful witness to the gospel of Jesus Christ, is that you're with them and you're journeying through life with them. So we're really grateful for you doing that. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us this morning on Coffee with the Callers. If you're thinking that you might be a catechist like Stephanie, then just call the RE office, talk to Betty or Teresa or any of the RE folks, and they'll get you all the information that you need. Or you can go to our webpage and scroll through our webpage and find our religious education information on there. So thanks again, Stephanie, for joining us. Padre, thanks for joining us this morning. Sure. Have a great week, and thank you for joining us on Coffee with the Callers, and we'll see you on Sunday.